Greetings, my friends. Thank you for watching this video, and if you would be so kind, please subscribe if you like what you see. Help our channel to keep growing and keep fighting the war to save pop culture. Together, we can end this destructive conflict and bring order to the galaxy. Enjoy, and thanks. Greetings, my friends. I am Dictor Van Doomcock, the future ruler of Earth. And as we speak, massive changes are erupting behind the scenes at Lucasfilm. Yesterday, I started getting flooded by information from sources about huge shifts happening over there. One piece of news that hit the mainstream media was the delay of Rogue Squadron for an indefinite period. And while that is one aspect of the story, it is not the main story, nor is it the most dramatic story. What I'm about to tell you is going to blow your minds, people. All of this is really bad news, not only for Kathleen Kennedy, but also Rian Johnson himself. So buckle up, gang. The shit has hit the fan at Lucasfilm.
That's a nice change, given how over at Lucasfilm the shit usually hits the fans.
Touche, Harvey Cthulhu, touche. Before I go any further, I want to make it clear that this is information I have received from multiple sources claiming to have knowledge of what the hell is going on over at Lucasfilm. But since I have no way of personally verifying any of this, I must present it as unverified rumor and ask you all to please take it with a grain of salt. So, let's make some news, Harvey. One of my Hollywood spies contacted me yesterday and told me this, quote, "This is fresh off the press. Just got a text. All productions under KK are delayed effectively immediately. This seems to be moving fast. Anything that Kathleen Kennedy was over has been shut down. We have details on Andor and the Acolyte. There seems to be 2 other shows that are only running under code names that have also been shut down as well, and also Indy 5, unquote."
Holy crap, dude! Could this possibly be true?
Harvey, get ready to have your mind blown. I have a lot of information to share in this video, all of which is good news for fans. I mean, there's so much here, Harvey. Each of these stories could, in and of itself, be its own video. It's like someone opened up the Lost Ark inside Lucasfilm, and faces are melting left and right. After years under Kathleen Kennedy, they chose poorly, and now they are paying the price. Kathleen Kennedy and Rian Johnson.
Rian Johnson, that's the second time you mentioned him. What happened? Oh please, oh please, oh please, let it be bad.
Bad for Rian Johnson, Harvey. Good for everyone else. I've had intimations that something like this was coming for over a month now. Back on October 7th, I received this message from a source who claims to be an insider at Lucasfilm and/or Disney, and this is what I was told on that date, quote, "Good news, oh dark overlord. Bob Chapek just sent out a memo officially terminating Rian Johnson's contract with Lucasfilm. He's killed all plans. He is removing the movies and TV shows that Rian and KK were developing. Those would have completely destroyed the Star Wars franchise by removing all mention of Jedi, Sith, or the Force. Their plan was to take Star Wars to a different galaxy than the one we know and love, create all new species, and have a lesbian female couple-led hero squad that fought the tyranny of toxic masculinity and for equity for all beings in the universe. I shudder to think what would have happened to the fandom if those plans were allowed to go forward. The New Galaxy referenced was a plan for a totally new series of TV shows that was to be set in a far future time in a different galaxy where the Force was extinct. Extinct! It would have had nothing to do with Star Wars except in name and look. I believe that Kathleen Kennedy wanted to move as far away from George's original vision as possible. Well, I say good riddance to Kathleen Kennedy, Rian Johnson, and all those associated, unquote.
Holy fuck! Rian Johnson's trilogy is dead? Is it December 25th, Doomcock? Is it Christmas?
Rumor has it is snowing inside Lucasfilm, and reindeer have been spotted on the roof, Harvey. This was information I got a month ago. But absent other verification, I sat on it, waiting for more information before I said anything. But as news started flooding in yesterday from various sources, I started to believe this report more. And while this is only a rumor at this stage, it's looking more and more like Rian Johnson is ruined over at Lucasfilm and Disney. But there's more, Harvey, a lot more. Watch this video to the end, people, or you'll miss out on a lot here. I received a follow-up to that message, and this is what it said. Quote, "Here's what we understand right now. As far as the details on Andor, we want to run them by a few people and more is coming in by the second. Still too early to know what is really happening. Rogue Squadron has been delayed, and according to almost every source, the High Republic is officially scrapped. It will not even be regarded as legends." Unquote.
The High Republic, gone?
The High Republic has never been so low, Harvey. That's what my Hollywood spies are telling me. As of yesterday, the High Republic has been scrapped, according to sources inside Lucasfilm. It is gone. Wholesale. It will not be referenced again. It was a failed experiment and will not even be kept in a separate universe under the Star Wars Legends brand. A big chunk of wokeness just got carved out of Lucasfilm, if this source is correct. No more bestest Avar. No more Geode.
Alas, poor Geode. But the good news is, while Geode is dead, he can serve as his own headstone.
Oh, Harvey, damn it. I wish I'd made that joke myself. But yes, that soy-soaked galaxy is gone away if this source is correct. And yet there's more, Harvey, a lot more. I got another communication from my Hollywood spies as the news continued to erupt. This is what they said, quote, "Let me say this, we haven't had time to vet anything. Stuff is still coming in as I send this. Andor is delayed, we have some added details. Acolyte delayed, we have a bit more details. Rogue Squadron is delayed. This seems to be 100%. The director Patty has been pulled off the project," unquote. Indeed, according to my friend WDW Pro, who is posting now over at thatparkplace.com, he contacted me out of the blue while my spies were busily sending me updates, and he had this to say regarding what's happening at Lucasfilm and the fate of Rogue Squadron. Quote, "A source I have says Rogue Squadron was removed because Kennedy isn't going to be around to see it come to completion. Says Kennedy's slate is essentially being cleared. I cannot corroborate that, but I've been trying for the past week. See if any of your sources have solid response. Filoni essentially runs everything Star Wars now. Burbank is thrilled with Boba Fett's response. They need Disney Plus growing, and Filoni seems to know how to do it. Not even Marvel is growing Disney Plus. Disney Plus equals stock value going forward," unquote.
Now that is interesting, Doomcock. Rogue Squadron yanked from the schedule because Kennedy isn't going to be around to see it come to completion? Kennedy's slate is essentially being cleared?
That's what WDW Pro said, even as my spies were telling me these very same things. I went ahead and let him know that indeed, yes, my sources are corroborating this information. Things were jumping yesterday, my friends. My Hollywood spies continued sending me information, and here's some more of what they said. Quote, "Also delayed was something referred to as bones. No idea what this is," unquote. Well, my Hollywood spies, let me tell you, I assume that this was Children of Blood and Bone, a woke fantasy novel that KK was developing independently of Star Wars. This was kind of a pacifier project. They were letting Kathleen Kennedy develop it, presumably to keep her busy in a little corner where she couldn't do any more harm. And if they took that away from her, delayed it, canceled it, whatever the case may be, it signals a huge shift in the attitude of Disney execs toward Kathleen Kennedy. For some reason, they are no longer worried about keeping her happy.
Holy fuckaroli, Doomcock! I thought WDW Pro had told you that her contract was silently extended.
He did, Harvey. I had mentioned it during Pop Culture Breakdown this past Sunday, but I hadn't gotten around to reporting it in a video. Here's what WDW Pro had to say about Kennedy's contract when he contacted me on October 30th. Quote, "You may have already covered some of this, but in case you haven't, Kennedy may have already been approved for a contract extension earlier this week without any public announcement or fanfare. I'm working on confirming it, unquote. When I followed up with WDW Pro about this on November 5th, this was his reply, quote, I'm trying to corroborate what I've been told from inside Lucasfilm. She's been silently extended. It seems to be true, but the fact it's totally quiet means we may have to wait until a shareholder meeting or she leaves to find out. Her old contract is over though, so I don't know how she can be continuing without an extension. The question is, how long was she extended? Until December to continue negotiations? 1 year? You have to remember she's going to be royally unhappy if she doesn't get to see Indiana Jones through to the end. That's not until 2023. The most likely thing to me seems to be that she's silently extended, stays away from the press, and Chapek lets her finish Indy without more damage. From what I'm hearing from various sources, she's completely gone from any decision-making with Favreau or Filoni, even if they're courteous, unquote. So this seemingly contradicts what's happening at Lucasfilm now, on the surface at least. Why would Kennedy's contract be extended, and then suddenly they're canceling or delaying all her projects? Why would it be silently extended? That alone tells us a lot, because if you're proud of a contract, proud of a hire, proud of renewing someone who you think has done a great job, why do you hide it like a cat hides a turd inside a litter box?
Maybe they know it's a terrible idea, but it was dictated by necessity.
Maybe, Harvey, maybe. Or maybe the new contract was a trap. I mean, they give her a contract extension, but now they're canning all of her projects? How does this square? To me, thinking about it, I wonder if this is yet more of Bob Chapek's 4D chess. To reference Admiral Akbar, was signing the new contract a trap? Was there some kind of sneaky provision in the contract extension that defanged Kennedy? Some kind of clause that imposed penalties for speaking out, penalties for sabotaging others like Favreau, some kind of gag order that Kennedy didn't think too hard about. But now Chapek is free to do whatever the hell he wants? This is bizarre and astonishing, and if this is the case, well done, Mr. Chapek, sir. I salute you. But there's more, Harvey. My Hollywood spies continue in their recapping of what they've heard, quote, the old republic is null and void as of today. There are other projects that haven't been started in any way. These are canceled, but nothing under John has been delayed. This seems real, but we are looking into this, unquote. At this point, I started beating the bushes, hitting up my personal sources for information, and a source who I've worked with in the past who claims to be a deep insider at Disney and/or Lucasfilm had this reply to my query, quote, yep, I've gotten confirmation that all of KK's projects are hereby shelved. With the departure of Ruin, the series he was working on with Kat, codenamed New Galaxy, is DOA. Acolyte has been halted and in principle postponed indefinitely. Andor is in the same limbo, and her private little baby Rey series won't even get to pre, unquote.
Baby Ray series? What the hell was that?
I have no idea, Harvey. I never heard of it before. One of those mystery projects my spies were talking about, I guess. We'll never know because it's canceled. The source continues, quote, Rogue Squadron is definitely delayed due to the writer, Matthew Robinson, having a medical issue, read COVID. He will be out at least 6 weeks, and by then Patty will be neck deep in other projects. Chief of them are Wonder Woman 3. So Rogue is on a 1-year delay. However, Rogue is not in limbo completely. There will be pre-production still going on with casting, costuming, and tuning the script. This is all to make it much easier for Patty to be able to jump back in at the helm and have everything ready to go. Things around here are in what we like to refer to as a liquid state. However, there is another more common name used by many and is very accurate, that name being a clusterfuck. It's kind of like the Old West around here right now. Keep your ears to the ground and your neck on a swivel. I have a feeling everyone is going to be bombarded with all kinds of leaks, unquote. And so I was, and so now are you as well, my friends. This story is still developing, and I'll bring you updates as I receive them, but while some details may later prove to be false or distorted, It seems beyond doubt that there is some kind of massive upheaval happening behind the scenes of Lucasfilm, and regardless of whether or not there has been some kind of contract extension signed, it seems fairly clear that Kennedy's power at Lucasfilm is severely diminished. From the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock bidding you all, my friends, stay angry.